Hello, and welcome to Stage Screen and In Between. Tonight, we're at a very important event, the Long Island Heart Ball at Oheka Castle. And we're going to be meeting people that are getting awards for their dedication to heart disease. I'm here with Michelle Gervat, and she is a very important person here. I'm going to let her tell us exactly what it is that she's doing, because it's her last year doing it too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I am a very important person, but our mission is what's really super important, and that's really improving the heart health of all Americans by 20% by 2020. So welcome here tonight for the American Heart Association's 53rd Annual Heart Ball. We're going to have a phenomenal night tonight. We have our honorees here, Dr. Fernandez and Mr. Monte Redman, who is from Astoria Bank. Both of these gentlemen are fantastic. Philip Wackler is our chair, and we have Adam Silvers, our co-chair.
Oh, and you have Chris Algieri is your host. Now, he's a wonderful boxer, right? And I know that he is very big on fitness and eating the right thing. How important do you think it is to eat the right thing?
Oh, you are what you eat. Yeah. That old saying, you are what you eat. We should have listened to our mothers and our grandmothers years ago, because it really is true. We are what we eat. Nutrition is a very important part of what we do. It also is so important that you watch what your kids eat, what your grandchildren eat. It's so important. Obesity is on the rise. It has never been higher. This generation may not live beyond their parents' age if they don't watch what they eat.
Really? Yeah. That included with what goes on in the environment too, as well, you know. So is there a website where somebody can find out more?
www.heart.org is our general website. www.nassaucountyheartball.org is for this event.
I'm here with the very handsome welterweight champ, Chris Algieri, and he's also the host for tonight. Chris, I've been following you. You've been doing tremendous as a welterweight champion. How do you do it all?
Time management is really what it's about. So a lot of hard training, but at the same time, I have to be, conscious and very aware and disciplined in my lifestyle.
Yeah. Now, I know we also happen to be friends online on Facebook, and I watch him sometimes preparing meal, what he's going to eat, and I say, oh, wow, that looks so good. And yet you watch your calories. What are some of the meals that you prepare?
I'm actually doing a cooking demonstration tonight. I'm making one of my favorite meals. It's a perfect vegetable omelet. It has arugula, chopped tomatoes, and feta cheese. And it's a great way to start your day. Get some good, healthy, colorful vegetables in, and get some good protein as well.
Yeah. Now, I know that as a boxer and you train and you have to jump rope and they want you get your heart rate up and everything like that. How often do you have to have your heart checked? Because what you do is very stressful, isn't it?
One of the reasons I'm here is my interest in cardiovascular fitness and the preventable diseases that are plaguing the nation. So it's very important to make sure that your heart is healthy. And because of the New York State regulations, for every professional fighter, you have to get checked twice a year. Make sure that your heart is in full function.
Now, weren't you a medical student?
I was a pre-medical student in college. I went on to get my master's in clinical nutrition, and I work as a nutritionist as well.
Yeah. See, isn't that a good fit? Now you can help other people in your field, in any athletic field, and just people in general, because it's so important to eat right?
Absolutely. You are what you eat, and it's never really been a truer statement than that.
Yeah. And what's your advice to people out there?
The body's meant to move, so any kind of exercise you can get is very important, whether it's walking or jogging or swimming or cycling. Just be active.
Yeah. Now, do you have a website where somebody can follow what you do?
Absolutely. ChrisAlgieri.com.
Okay. Can you spell your last name?
Algieri.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
I want to catch a demonstration. How long does that cook for, Chris?
This is really a really quick and easy recipe. It comes out very quickly. A lot of people say they don't have time for breakfast, but you can make a very nutritious, colorful breakfast in a very short period of time. I mean, all in all, prep and everything, 7-8 minutes.
Right now, I'm with a heart attack survivor. Was it actually an attack?
It was. I actually was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy.
Okay. And introduce yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Christine Boudwa-Giles.
Okay. And what exactly is cardiomyopathy?
Okay, cardiomyopathy is a type of heart failure where the pacing of the heart is irregular, or in my case, it was going too quickly.
Now, did you have symptoms, or did you find this out during a physical?
I actually had started having symptoms, but it wasn't the normal symptomatic response. My first symptom were swollen ankles.
Really?
And congestion, yes.
So now, did you go to the doctor for it?
I did. I actually went to my internist a few days after the symptoms started, just because I started getting progressively worse.
Right.
And right away, he diagnosed me with a cardiac issue, and sent me straight to the hospital.
Yeah. And what was the recuperation on that?
Took about a year. It was actually a very lengthy process. My heart is still slowly recovering, but so far so good.
Oh, okay. And now you're her husband. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Matthew Giles. I'm Christine's husband. We've been married 3 years. We have 2 lovely children.
So, Matthew, this happened pretty quickly during the marriage, right?
Yes.
So now, what could you do to help her?
Well, when it first happened, we thought it was a common cold. And after the 3rd night, she couldn't sleep properly. And I told her she should go see the doctor. And later that day, she did. And the doctor said they rushed her to the hospital.
Really? So it was lucky that your husband wasn't, putting it off. He was very on top of it, right?
Absolutely right. He was the one that pushed me to really go to the doctor right away, because obviously we had a new child at home. I was still recovering from delivery. I had just gone back to work, so I didn't think.
And you're so young. You're so young.
I'm 37. Yeah. Yeah.
That's frightening, because they do say that heart trouble is sometimes hard to diagnose in women in particular.
Definitely, because the symptoms are not the normal, arm pain, back pain, chest pain. I had none of those.
Yeah, you just had the swollen ankles. Gee, I better watch out. I get swollen ankles too, but sometimes I spend too much time on my feet. Do you have any advice that you would give the other ladies out there?
Don't wait for care. Honestly, the minute you don't wait for care. If you're not feeling right, if you're just feeling uncomfortable, just malaise, go to your doctor.
Thank you very much, and continue good health.
Thank you.
With honoree Dr. Harold Fernandez, and he's getting a very important award tonight. What is the award that you're getting, Dr. Fernandez?
Oh, thank you for the interview. I'm getting the Cardiovascular Science Award from the American Heart Association. So I am very happy and very proud to get this award.
Yes, and you worked very hard. You studied at Princeton. Didn't you do work there? You now work at Southside Hospital, right? But didn't you do research at Princeton?
That's right. I spent 4 years at Princeton. I majored in molecular biology at Princeton, and now I am the chief of cardiovascular surgery at Southside Hospital.
Wow. My husband is a survivor of he didn't have a heart attack, but he went for a test, and he had 4 arteries blocked. They wouldn't let him leave the hospital. So what are some of the warning signs? Because he really didn't have any. What are the general warning signs of a heart attack or a heart condition?
You bring up a really good point, and that's that a lot of cardiovascular disease goes undiagnosed, and that is one of the functions of the American Heart Association, to really work on prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. But there are so many tests that we can do for patients now, for people, to really diagnose cardiovascular disease, because now we have the technology to really treat patients very well and to really get them better. So it's very sad when you hear people dying of heart conditions.
Yes. Now, are the symptoms are different for a woman than a man generally? What would you say are the symptoms for a woman as opposed to a man?
When we look at the symptoms of heart disease, the most common symptom is a pressure that patients get on their chest, and it happens usually with exercise. And it's a pressure that they described sometimes as an elephant sitting on their chest. For women, sometimes it can be different. Sometimes it can be no symptoms, sometimes just fatigue. We don't really understand why they're different.
I heard that it can be the jaw too, pain in the jaw.
That's right. Sometimes pain in the jaw, sometimes actually pain in the gums. And usually the pain goes away with rest. So it occurs when they move, when they exercise, but then the pain or the symptoms go away when they rest.
Now, do you think that it's important? Some people used to believe to take a baby aspirin every day. Do you think that that's good advice, or is that just for some people?
I'm still a strong believer in a baby aspirin. And in fact, I think that every patient, everyone in general, over 50 years old should take a baby aspirin. And patients who have risk factors for cardiac disease, actually above 40 years old.
Now, is there a website where someone can find out more about you or what they do, or if they think that they need a checkup, how could they come and see you?
For me, they can actually just look me up, haroldfernandez.com, www.haroldfernandez.com, or they can look up the American Heart Association website, which has a lot of excellent information, again, for the prevention, because a lot of heart conditions can actually be prevented, for the diagnosis and for the treatment of heart conditions.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's really an honor for me to be your co-honoree. In fact, I've done a lot of work with different organizations. I always see Astoria Bank as one of the banks that really reaches out to the community and reaches out to organizations like the American Heart Association. It's really an honor and a privilege for me to be here tonight. I'm surrounded by so many friends. As I look around the room, my family's here, my parents, my wife, my daughter. So thank you all for being here tonight. This morning I was making rounds at North Shore Hospital, and I was rounding on one of our patients, who happens to be the first patient to get a left ventricular assist device in the Northwell system. So it's a little pump. It's a little pump we put on patients that have a very weak heart. And the patient had a rough course. He was in the intensive care unit for more than a week. And the patient looked at me and said, "Dr. Fernandez, today is the big day." So I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, today is the big day," because he was going to go from the intensive care unit to a regular room. So I thought that's what he was referring to, that now he was going to go from the intensive care unit to a regular room. But then he looked at me and he said, "No, today's the big day. Today you're going to get your award from the American Heart Association." So, it really highlights the point that some of our patients, all of our patients, are so grateful for all the work that we do for them. And I really wanted to, and it really moved me when he said that.
three. Too high, hot day. Gonna be so fine. Too high, hot day. When the train on the train. Too high, hot day. See my name, you know who I am. Too high, hot day. Break it down. Girls hit hallelujah. Girls hit hallelujah. Girls hit hallelujah. Sometimes I'm gonna give it to you. Sometimes I'm gonna give it to you. Sometimes I'm gonna give it to you. Shining right away in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on.
A leader in the community to receive the Corporate Leadership Award. The recipient this year is Monte, Redman, President and CEO of Astoria Bank. Astoria has been very generous long-time supporter of the American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association. Mr. Redman joined Astoria in 1977. Being extremely civic-minded, in addition to his leadership at Astoria, Mr. Redman is an active member of various boards of directors and fosters extensive community involvement and financial support for nearly 700 organizations that strengthen the neighborhoods that Astoria Bank serves. We are honored to have Monte as the Corporate Leadership awardee for the 2016 Royal Heart Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Monte Redman, President and CEO of Astoria Bank.
I'm here now with Monte Redman, and he is the executive from Astoria Bank, and he's receiving a wonderful award tonight. What award is it actually?
Well, it's the Corporate Leadership Award from AHA, and really what it does, I'm here representing Astoria Bank. We have over 1,500 employees who've worked hard year after year helping raising funds for AHA for the valuable and very informative information and work they do. So we support AHA by having hundreds of employees raise funds during the Heart Walk on Jones Beach, and more recently with the Go Red campaign. We actually have sponsorships within our corporate headquarters where, depending on how much money an employee donates, they either get a pin or they get a pin and candy and so forth. But more importantly, we raise it at all 88 branches. We solicit funds not only from our employees, but from our customers, because we think AHA is such a valuable cause, and providing information about heart disease, and it is just something that needs to be done throughout our entire community. And we encourage our branch managers and staff to go into the community to be part of that. And that's what we've done, and I think that's what this award is about. It's corporate leadership. It's not just for me, it's for the entire staff, all 1,500 employees of Astoria Bank.
Wow. They all do a good job raising funds to try to save lives, because that's what this is all about. Educating people and saving lives, right?
That's it. Astoria, we do a great job with the providing financial information for the financial part of your life, but AHA, they deal with your lives. And that is very important. And everything we can do to help them do their job, that's what we do.
Right. So everybody can have a long, healthy, and happy life. Now, is there a website where somebody can find out more about you and your bank and what you do?
Well, AstoriaBank.com is a website. You can find everything from our branch locations to our product offerings to everything else about Astoria and about me. If that's the last thing you need to know.
We want to know all about you. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your honor tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have a lot to celebrate here tonight. Our business is pretty serious, and we promise that it will have an impact on you and those you love in your communities. Our 2020 impact goal is to improve the heart health of Americans by 20% while decreasing death and disability caused by cardiovascular disease and stroke by 20% by the year 2020. Public policy change is a very big part of what we at the American Heart Association do.
We had a big win last year in New York State when it became the 28th state in the nation to include CPR and AED training as a graduation requirement for high school students.